cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me, cause I'm P-P-P-Low, time to bring the bass bird.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. After 2 weeks on the road, they're finally ready for the home opener at Arrowhead Stadium. Standing by on the call, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the baseball regular season is wrapping up across the parking lot, but football season in full swing now at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
As of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
They're going to get 9 here on first down as he gets this one up to the 34-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. 2nd and 1. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ball game.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Back to throw. Stewart. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Like a freight train there, Derek Nottie with a sack. A few issues here on the offensive line, apparently. He got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down, makes it manageable now.
Able to find Switzer. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 39.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. Third down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, and they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Stewart to throw again. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. DJ Chark, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
They run for the first time with Justice Hill. The numbers for Hill a week ago: 18 carries, 52 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. On play action, it's Mahomes. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
And this certainly doesn't seem like an ideal situation for them, because they're coming in on a losing streak, and they've got the quick turnaround right here to Thursday night. But maybe that's for the best. Get right back on the horse and go at it again and not dwell on the losing that they've had in recent weeks.
And this is caught by Watkins. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that. The way he roared up and made that play, that tells me that he spent a lot of time in the film room analyzing what this offense does, and he saw something that convinced him he didn't have to worry about the pass. He could just go right now and make a play. I think if you're the offensive team, you better file that away a little.
There he goes, left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. DJ Chark, 85 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They'll go with Hill here on first down. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Avery Williamson there to make the stop. A look at the defensive starters now for the Raiders. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the second time.
We got this.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
60 Pittsburgh. 50, check back 50. Let's go, defense. Out of time. It's out.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Javon Hargrave, his 2nd sack of the night.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. Well, the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. The Raiders on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 14. That one complete. He finds Shark. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 23 yards on the play. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Here's Stewart looking to throw on 2nd down. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 48-yard line. They run the counter. Pollard. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. On first down, Pollard. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Pollard going to try the right side. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Carlson now to add the extra point.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Mahomes on the bootleg. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 25-yard line. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
first down, Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. That one complete to Hill. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Let's go.
And again, it's Mahomes. It's Hill, complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Come on, QB, come on.
Mahomes to throw once more. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Now it's Mahomes again. His pass caught at the 4. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And this one into the hands of DJ Chark. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Stewart. Shark's got it left side. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. DJ Chark in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to our Tiburon Studios here in Orlando. We'll take a minute and look ahead at what's to come this weekend.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Mahomes going to fire this out wide to Hill. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
60
They'll run it with Williams. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Travion Williams, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Maurice Hurst able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's going to look deep for Watt. He's got him in, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And give him a gain of 37. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Hill. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Mahomes. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. This one caught by Davis. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 31-yard line. Mahomes now 15 out of 17 through the air, only 2 incompletions. It's first down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Mills. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They'll swing this complete out to Hill. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now Mahomes under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. And when a free safety goes like he did there, he better be sure he's going to be able to make a play.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, because I have a feeling that the defensive coordinator and head coach are on the sideline screaming, no, no, no. Good play.
Yeah, good job, buddy. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. To throw, it's Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on third? 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Off the draw, here's Hill. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland 1st down. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On 2nd down now, Pollard. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. The Raiders on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Stewart. And Stewart lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
I know it's a phrase that sounds really cool, strip sack, but all we're talking about is getting to the guy, getting to the passer, making the tackle, making the play, but do a little bit extra, right? Stripping the ball out, working the arm free. That's become a big emphasis for all defenders.
Yeah, and as a defender with the emphasis, this is something that's practiced.
Practiced all the time. Taking the ball away, creating turnovers, that's really job one for any defense because that's how you win in today's NFL.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Mahomes now on 1st down. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Mahomes now to throw. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll run on first down. Pollard, and past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen. Deep river.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Let's go one more.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play...
And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
This is taken at his 4. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But
and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Pollard again. Room here to run. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.